Okay, so I'm here with Anthony Johnson.
Yep.
You will be on headlining a car, or not, featured just below the headliner coming up soon. Is there any information that you can give us on that?
Yeah, it's August 16th at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. It's Big Knockout Boxing. You can check it out on www.bkb.tv.
Okay, and for those that don't know much about your story, where are you originally from?
I was born and raised in North Platte, Nebraska. I grew up in Nebraska, and I was just real athletic. I played sports all through high school, and I went to the University of Nebraska. I did a internship for a company out in the Bay Area, and it was my first trip really out of Nebraska. And so once I got out of Nebraska and I kind of got to see what the rest of the United States was like, I fell in love with the Bay Area, and I just vowed to myself once I graduated college I was going to come back out. So as soon as I graduated college, I came back out to California. I spent a month in LA, and then I moved back up to the Bay. No job in sight, no plan. I just moved up here and made it a go, and I've been here ever since.
How did you become a fighter?
While I was in Nebraska, I trained mixed martial arts and kickboxing, and I actually had a pretty good amateur career in kickboxing where I got to travel a little bit. I fought in New York City, I fought in LA, I fought up here in the Bay Area. And after I graduated, I came to California. It was just so much of a bigger scale out here, and I wasn't quite ready to quit fighting and concentrate on work, so I quit work and concentrated on fighting. And I just made it my passion. I made my job my passion, and I've been doing it ever since.
So you originally started with mixed martial arts in the Bay Area, right?
Yeah, I started with mixed martial arts. I trained everywhere from Fairtex in San Francisco to AK in San Jose, and from there I made it all the way to Strike Force. And while I was in Strike Force, I injured my knee, had a knee surgery, and then turned to boxing. So I got a knee injury in Strike Force, and it was actually funny. My first pro fight, my trainer at the time was Joe Amato. He walked into the gym, and as I was shadowboxing me, he said, "Get your gear. We're headed to Sacramento. You're weighing in tonight. You're fighting tomorrow." And that was my introduction to boxing. And it's such a different sport, a rude awakening. Funny story, I was actually in the fight. During the fight, I was so exhausted from not a real training camp, I threw up in my mouth, swallowed it, finished the fight, and I pulled out a split decision win. It was quite an experience.
And now you're going on to a new frontier after the boxing, but does this the BKB, does it affect your boxing record at all?
It doesn't affect my boxing record. It's actually going to be sanctioned as its own sport. I find this is going to be a really exciting opportunity. The format of it's boxing, but it's in a smaller ring, which is a circle, no rope, 17 feet in diameter, and 2-minute rounds. So basically, after going and sparring in what they call the pit, it forces the action. There's still footwork, there's still very fundamental boxing and cutting angles, but at the same time there's no running, there's no time to catch your breath, and it really forces the fight.
And also, you have not just MMA experience, but you actually, I believe, you were the sparring partner for Cain Velasquez for Junior Dos Santos, so you must have a little bit of familiarity with that kind of, not necessarily an octagon, but a circular, small area, right?
Yeah, we a lot of the sparring that we do at AKA is in an open area and not so much in a ring, so you don't have ropes to rest on. You're kind of forced to fight in the middle, stand your ground, and sparring with a guy like Cain really puts that pressure on and forces you to fight. I mean, if you've watched him fight, the guy's relentless, always pressure on you, and he really can exhaust you. I definitely want to give thanks to Undisputed. They ever since I came here, anybody that's been following my career, you guys could see that I've really turned the corner, especially since training with Mike Basil and Brian Schwartz.
So who are you fighting?
I'm fighting a guy named Demar Ortiz out of Chicago. I don't know a whole lot about him. He's 10-0 with 7 knockouts. So, I mean, judging by his record, he's going to be a very good fighter. He's definitely going to have a lot of power in both hands, and force a fight in the pit in front of each other. Somebody's getting knocked out.
And this is for a belt?
This is for the cruiserweight belt, BKB cruiserweight belt.
Okay, so you have the opportunity to be the first champion in the...
First champion in a brand new organization.